Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 1984 Ambassador College production of The Pirates of Penzance. The Pirates of Penzance, written in the late 1800s, 1877, was a comic opera that the famed pair Gilbert and Sullivan wrote. It is said that Gilbert turned to his own earlier work for inspiration called Our Island Home.
From this work, and from a strange incident in his childhood when he was kidnapped and ransomed by Neapolitan pirates, grew the germ of the idea that developed into the Pirates of Penzance, or the Slave of Duty.
As in HMS Pinafore, there is satire on class and satire on the military, the army instead of the navy. There are also jokes about an Englishman's sense of duty and about British bobbies or policemen.
We, as wards of Major General Stanley, would like to relate this tale to you.
Maestro.
Strong his arm and keen his set as he's a pirate now indeed. Here's good luck to Frederick's ventures, Frederick's out of his adventures. 22 now he's rising, and alone he's fit to fly, which were bent on signalizing with unusual ride. Here's good luck to Frederick's ventures, Frederick's out of his adventures. Aboard a pirate ship, fill the pirate fire, and to make us more than merry, let the pirate on the fire.
So brave and daring, his father thought he'd send him to some career he's daring. I was a lad, his nursery mate, and so it fell to my lot to take and buy this promising boy apprentice to a pilot. A life not bad for an hardy lad, though surely not a pilot. Though I'm a nurse, you might do worse than make your boy a pilot. I was a stupid nursery maid on breakers, always steering, and I did not catch the word aright through being hard of hearing. Mistaken my instructions, which within my brain did gyrate, I took and bound this promising boy apprentice to a pirate. A sad mistake it was to make and doom him to a vile lot. I bound him to a pirate view instead of to a pilot. I soon found out beyond all doubt the scope of this disaster, but I ought the face to return to my place and break it to my master. A nursery maid is not afraid of what you people call work, so I made up my mind to go as a kind of practical vein of all work, and that is how which I wouldn't have found had he been bound, apprentice to a pilot.
The first scene of the opera is set on a rocky seashore off the coast of Cornwall, which is in southwest England. In Victorian times, it was a haven for daring smugglers who would unload their ill-gotten gains under the thick cover of darkness.
In the first scene, a band of good-natured but blundering pirates are celebrating the release from his indentures,
Apprenticeship.
of their young apprentice, Frederick. Any pirate worth his salt must be able to imbibe freely and plenteously of that liquid substance commonly known as alcohol. Well, these pirates are worth their salt, and so they celebrate with pirate sherry, a parting gift from their unfortunate victims.
Amidst their celebrations and joviality, Frederick shocks them with the revelation that he intends to leave them forever and lead an honest life. The Pirate King is slightly upset at hearing this and asks Frederick, who was one of his best pirates, to explain himself. Frederick then proceeds to unravel a mystery that would hit top ratings on the Twilight Zone.
As a little lad, he had proved so brave and daring that his father wanted him to enter a career that would challenge his bravery and daring. As a result, he had carefully instructed Frederick's nursery maid, Ruth, now the pirate's cook and washerwoman, to apprentice him to a pilot. Alas, poor Ruth, being hard of hearing, had misinterpreted her instructions and apprenticed young Frederick to a pirate instead of to a pilot, a ship's captain.
Being a true Englishman from head to toe,
And all the other bits in between.
Frederick, who describes himself as a slave of duty,
He always follows the dictates of his conscience.
has served out his indentures faithfully, even though he was a victim of a terrible mistake.
For fear of implicating Ruth, Frederick does not say who made the mistake, but Ruth, whose mind has long been gnawed by the cantering tooth of mystery, decides to spill the beans.
Now that the truth is out, Ruth pleads for Frederick's pardon, which he dutifully gives. Frederick, once again, reminds the pirates that this very afternoon his obligation ceases. He goes on to tell them that individually he loves them with affection unspeakable.
He likes them a lot.
But collectively, he looks upon them with a disgust that amounts to absolute detestation.
He can't stand them.
As a slave of duty, once free from his indentures, he is bound to exterminate them because of their evil occupation.
Overcome by heart-rending emotion, the pirates weep. The Pirate King exhorts Frederick to follow his conscience and ignore the consequences. This, of course, means that they are now sworn enemies, whereas previously they were sworn friends.
Before taking his leave, Frederick feels it is his duty as a pirate to point out curious faults in their tactics. Firstly, they never attack parties weaker than themselves, only those stronger, and then they invariably get flashed. Secondly, they make a point of never attacking orphans because they are orphans themselves.
Having committed himself to a life of honesty, Frederick urges the pirates to do the same. They refuse, agreeing with their leader that it is a glorious thing to be a pirate king. Maestro!